Sup? Come along for the ride. Let's see what we can get into today. Well, what I got going on today is I have a tote of spray here that I need to return and a bag of alfalfa seed I'm going to return. The spray is our pre-emergent spray, and because of rain delays and things like that, we were unable to get pre-emergent spray on some of the bean fields. It can create an issue later in the summer for weed pressure, but that's an issue we have to deal with. It is what it is. But regardless, I need to get that tote loaded up in the truck. I need to get the bag of seed loaded up in the truck so I can return that stuff. I'm going to swing by a few fields this morning on my way back and see what kind of weed pressure we have, see if it's ready to be sprayed, if we should wait a little bit, kind of make that determination today. I also want our old four-wheeler. We have a guy coming to look at that Saturday, so we might have that sold, so I want to get that out and wash it. Yeah, that's pretty much what we got going on. And, well, I need to, if I can't do any spraying, I need to get the combine hooked to the head, get the head over here so we can start getting a poly on that. So, there's a fair amount that needs to be done. Just figuring out what we're doing is the first step, I guess. I guess the very, very first step is to back the sprayer out of the barn and get that out of our way so we can get that tote loaded in the truck. I also did forget, I have about 150 gallons of burn down spray in the sprayer here too that I need to get cleaned out. I need to get it cleaned out and get the tank washed and get the booms clean in order to put the bean spray in there. Because if I spray the chemical that's in there on the beans, it'll kill them. That would not be a good thing. That would be a bad thing. Just returned the spray that I didn't use and the bag of alfalfa I didn't use, so we got a decent credit on that. I just received a phone call from the John Deere dealer that they got the part in to fix the air conditioning on the big tractor, so they're on their way out to fix that right now. And I was talking to our agronomist. I got a feeling I'm not going to spray today. I think I'm going to wait just a little bit longer. Like he said, it's a double-edged sword. If we go in and spray too early, we're going to have to go through and spray again toward later in the summer. And that's not something you want to do, but we'll see. If the weeds get too terrible, then I have to spray. So I'm gonna go scout a couple fields and then head back to the barn and probably get the combine out and get that head hooked up so I can start putting the new poly in that head. John Deere guy was here and gone. What was wrong with the big tractor was there's a sensor up in the roof, way up there. And the sensor, all the A coils for the air conditioner, everything is up in the roof of the cab. So the sensor that prevents it from freezing up went bad. So we had to put a new sensor in there. And in order to do that, the whole top of the cab and everything had to come off in order to do it. It actually took them longer to take the cab off, the top of the cab off, than it did to actually replace the sensor. It was, and he's doing it off an extension ladder and everything else. It was kind of comical watching him do it, but We got the sensor replaced. The problem is, we're not going to know if the issue is fixed until we go out and actually use this tractor out in the field and stuff like that to get the air conditioning to freeze up on it again. Who knows when that's going to be, right? It might be this coming late summer. Once we get the wheat harvested off, we kind of let the weeds grow up a little bit, and then we go in and spray them and kill them off, and then go plow down or disc down the wheat stubble. That's the only time I can foresee us using this until fall. So hopefully the problem is fixed. I got the head on the combine here, as you can see. I unboxed this piece of poly for the flooring. There's a lot of pieces there. I was actually in the beginning thinking this was going to be a couple-hour job, and now that I'm looking at it, I got a feeling it might be a couple-day job. First thing, what I need to do is raise the auger up so I have clearance here. And then if you look, this bar here and this bar, that is what they call floor strippers. I need to remove both of those floor strippers so we can slide the poly sheets in there, and then the head has to be drilled and pop riveted all along here, and then reinstall the floor strippers. And as I'm examining these floor strippers, they're pretty worn and beat up. As you can see, that's supposed to be a square edge. It's round. There's some dents right there from rocks and crap like that going into the head. The back one doesn't look too bad, but it's this front one. The front floor stripper looks like it needs to be replaced. And then I have a few guards and knives that have to be replaced as well. So we'll see. I need to put together a list and go from there. Morning, everybody. As you can see, it's the next day. I got busy doing some other crap last night and figured I'd just make this a 2-day video. Regardless, what I need to do is I need to get my parts list together here so I can go to the John Deere dealer and kind of figure out what those floor strippers are going to cost. I need to figure out how many guards, extra guards I have. These are guards here. I need to figure out how many extra I have of these, because normally I keep a few extra because these always break in the fields. You hit a rock or something, that always breaks. And then I have a lot of extra knives, but these knives actually look pretty decent. There might be a handful of them that I have to replace before wheat. Like here, right here's a broken one that needs to be replaced. But we'll see. My phone is ringing now. Let's see. We'll ignore that. But anyway, yeah. I need to replace just a handful of knives and a handful of guards, but I need to figure out how many guards I have. If I have enough guards, then I'm not going to worry about buying them any, because of the fact that wheat, when you combine beans, this head goes right down on the ground and it floats across the ground. So you hit rocks, you pick up rocks, you pick up dirt, things like that. As far as wheat, you cut about that high off the ground, so you're skimming over top of everything. So I'm not terribly worried about picking up rocks and things like that when I'm harvesting wheat. So if I have the guards in stock here, then I'm going to use those guards rather than ordering some. And then once we come to bean harvest, then yeah, I'll probably have to order some. It looks like I got that's supposed to be straight there. It's supposed to go this way. I have to beat that out with a hammer. And they call these tucker fingers. I'm missing as you can see, I'm missing a few, so I need to replace those, which I know I have a few Tucker fingers in the barn. Like this one is broke. That one's kind of worn. This one is about to break. If you look at it, see how it's kind of... So yeah, it needs some attention, that's for sure. The biggest thing is I got to get those floor strippers out so we can get this poly in and figure it out from there. I think I babbled enough on this clip. I just got back from the John Deere dealer. They had the guards in stock, so I was able to get the 6 guards that I need. But the floor stripper is going to be in Tuesday, which is fine. That'll give me a chance to get these old strippers out, get some of this head beat back into place, because there's some dents in there that kind of need to get straightened out a little bit, and then I can get the poly in the floor liner, basically I can get put in place, because there's a lot of drilling that needs to be done with that and pop riveting, so that'll give me a chance to do that. So hopefully when the new floor strippers get in, I'll be ready for them. But until then, I need to get working on this. Okay, this is for the kids and younger people. This head weighs, I think it weighs about 6,000 pounds, roughly. When you're crawling around underneath any piece of equipment, not only this head, if the hydraulic cylinders fail, if you have a hose burst, something fails and this thing comes crashing down, you're not going to have enough time to get out from under it. It will crush you, it will kill you. So they have these are called safety stops. What they do is you lower them down and it prevents, if you have a burst hydraulic hose, something bursts, this stop prevents it from coming down to the ground. So whenever you're working underneath something, you always need to have the hydraulic stops in place. I understand it can be a pain in the butt to do it once in a while, but the extra 30 seconds it takes to drop that is worth your life. All right, I have the floor strippers out, both sets. The front set that I'm replacing, you can see how worn that is. Yeah, that should have probably been replaced a while ago. There was a pile of bolts holding it all in. I'll show you this. A pile of bolts. So now what I need to do is, there's a lot of like dust and dirt in there. I need to go through with the blowgun and just blow all that out of there, and then hopefully I can start banging down some of these little dents that are in here, trying to get them straightened out. But I'll show you the reason why we're doing what we're doing. I gotta get a ladder. The reason why we're putting this liner in is because we've used the head so much that we actually wore a hole in the head last year. If you would have seen my previous videos, that right there. By wearing a hole there, we're actually losing grain out of the head and falling onto the ground, so the grain is actually going through that hole, not going into the machine. At this point, if we don't do nothing, the hole's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then we'll be losing more and more and more. You can actually see from underneath the hole. So yeah, so we're putting a liner, they call it a poly liner, in there to prevent that hole from getting any worse. The last year I used, oh, what was it? A flex tape. I put the flex tape in there last year in one of the videos, and you could see, and that was good enough to get me through the rest of the year, rest of the season, without losing any beans or grain. So that was a plus, but now it's time to address the situation. I had to run home and grab my pop rivet gun because, well, the one I got here is garbage. So I figured I'd grab my good one at home. I started to drill out this first piece. If you look, this is a what they call a hold down piece. And then you put it there, put the pop rivet in, and then drill each way. And you work your way to the left and to the right. That's what it's supposed to look like when it's done. Obviously it's not done yet, but that's what it's going to look like. Yeah, so now I have to, which each one of these panels gets one of these hold down pieces, and then each hold down piece has to be drilled and pop riveted down, and it's just it's time consuming. So I'm gonna get rolling on this now. Well, I ended up getting that head about half done. It is just screaming hot doing it in the sun like it was doing. So I ended up dropping the head back on the trailer and pulling the combine in the barn, and I'm gonna call it a day. The floor strippers that I ordered aren't gonna be until Tuesday anyway, so I'm gonna give it the weekend, and Monday I'll probably work on it a little bit, and Tuesday when the floor strippers come in, I'll finna wrap it up on Tuesday. So you guys have a great day. We will talk to you later. Probably gonna have some motorcycle footage on the other YouTube channel for the weekend, but we'll see what the weekend brings. You guys have a great day. Thanks for watching.